In this video, we will cycle along the coast of Portugal. The landscapes were absolutely stunning. You will find out if it's a good idea to do such a tour in summer. Let's just say, sometimes it was really hot and the accommodations weren't always perfect, once we even had bed bugs. Good morning. We are here in Porto. In the next few days we will cycle 250 kilometers along the coast of Portugal.
Let's start this adventure.
Before we started this tour, we had spent 3 days in Porto. It's not a very big city, but it's quite beautiful. One of the first things we had to do was to eat pastel de nata. They are so tasty. Porto is known as the City of Bridges. It sits on the steep banks of the Douro River and is connected by 6 bridges. On the Dom Luis Bridge you have an amazing view. It was designed by a student of Gustav Eiffel. The city has one of Europe's oldest city centers, and Porto's ancient name Portugal evolved into Portugal. So in a sense, the entire country is named after Porto. I was really excited to do this adventure together with Vivi. Here's a quick introduction.
Hi, I'm Vivian, I'm 21 years old and I'm from Lucerne, and I'm here together with Jan on vacation in Portugal.
After 3 days of exploring Porto, it was a really nice feeling to finally start cycling. We rented our bikes from Go Cycling Portugal, which we can highly recommend. If you pay a little bit extra, they will even come and pick up your bike at the end of the tour, but we decided to bring them back ourselves.
When I wake up next to you, I see the sky in ocean blue, the dawn in blue. Daylight dancing on the wind, feels like I've been born again when I'm with you. I'm coming alive.
It was really nice that we spent almost the entire morning close to the sea. It was the first time either of us had cycled along the coast, and it's definitely something we could get used to. As we started cycling at midday, it was already afternoon and we were slowly but surely getting hungry. Eventually we found a spot that looked promising. We had some salmon with potatoes and vegetables. We were really happy to finally be able to eat something. We just ate lunch in the restaurant behind us. It was really tasty.
We are now halfway done. Let's continue.
Yes, it's still quite hot, but should be okay. It was a rather strange feeling for me that after only 2.5 hours of cycling, we had already covered half of the day's distance. Those of you who have followed my other bikepacking adventures probably know that I usually cover 90 kilometers per day when traveling alone. For this trip, we were planning to do around 50 kilometers per day. Our plan was to cycle along the coast to Figueira da Foz and then end the trip in Coimbra. It was a really beautiful spot to fly with the drone, but I felt sorry for Vivi. One flight takes at least 20 minutes, so she had to wait until I was finished. There wasn't even shade that would have made the waiting more comfortable, so it was a good thing that there were finally some trees. Luckily, it wasn't far anymore to Furaduro, where we would spend the night.
Like seas, I get lost inside your eyes. Time doesn't move when I'm with you.
I'm really glad that we are here, and it was very exhausting, but I hope the evening will be relaxing.
Yeah, now it's already 6:45. We started at around noon. That's why it took so long. Now we will take a shower and then it's time to eat dinner. Since we were on the west coast, the sunset was incredibly beautiful. So far, we were both enjoying our vacation a lot. For dinner we ate calzone. It was tasty and the perfect meal after a day of cycling. Good morning. We both slept well. Today it will get really warm again.
I hope that we have again such beautiful biking paths, and our next stop is Aveiro.
Let's do it. As you can see, we were really lucky with the weather again. We spent the night at the Furaduro Boutique Hotel, Beach and Spa, which we can recommend. For me, that's a luxury I usually don't have on my bikepacking trips. Sleeping in the tent is not comparable to spending a night in a hotel. Since I didn't have to bring my tent, gas stove and a lot of other stuff, I had to carry a lot less weight, which was also a big advantage.
My like no other, yeah, I could stay here with you for forever.
We had to search the right way. It is not so easy here. And the speaking also don't go.
We are currently following the European Cycle Route 1, and here in Portugal there is basically no signage at all. When I was in Luxembourg and Belgium it was much better. The European Cycle Route 1 is a very long route that starts at the top of Norway and ends in Portugal. It's called Atlantic Coast Route. The Eurovelo network is managed by the European Cyclists Federation, but each country is responsible for its own signs and route maintenance. That's why the quality and style of Eurovelo markings can vary from one border to the next. However, the Federation sets standards and only approves routes that meet their criteria.
And the world stops spinning, I lose track of all the hours. There's no place I'd rather be. We are two hearts intertwined. I can see it in your eyes, like the sun that beats the morning sky. We are perfect, perfectly aligned.
We are here at the beach and we are looking now for food because I'm hungry.
I think then it's a really good idea to take a break now.
Hey!
Otherwise... There weren't many options, but there was a small beach bar where we ate a burger. It wasn't that much, but it gave us enough energy to keep going. It was quite funny how abruptly the cycle path ended a few minutes after the break. There was a bush, and behind it there was no path anymore. So we had no choice but to ride on the road. Fortunately, there wasn't too much traffic.
To golden light, there's a world of wonder painted in the sky. What a beautiful sight. It's all waiting for you. It's all waiting for you. It's just the beginning. It's just the beginning.
After the drone flight, it was not far anymore to Aveiro, where we would have a full day of rest before continuing the journey. We had to take a ferry to get to the other side. The ferry ride only took 5 minutes. The ticket machine was only in Portuguese. It was really hard to understand. We paid around €6 each. Later we found out that it would have cost only €2 with the bicycles.
Take 4. We are happy to have arrived in Aveiro and looking forward to rest a little bit tomorrow.
Today was a really beautiful day with many different landscapes. The afternoon passed very quickly, and now we are both really curious about this place.
We had a nice room in the Hotel Aveiro Center. We didn't have much time left to explore the city, so we decided to eat dinner instead. After some bruschetta, we had pasta with truffle oil as main course, which was really tasty. Once again, there was an amazing sunset during dinner, and for dessert we had some tiramisu, which I always have to try when I see it on the menu. Afterwards we enjoyed the beautiful evening and went to bed early. The next morning we had a tasty breakfast at the hotel and went out to explore Aveiro. The city is very famous for its network of canals and colorful boats, so we started with a boat tour. Some people call it the Venice of Portugal, but I have to say that it doesn't come close to Venice. Aveiro is definitely a beautiful place, but Venice is just on another level. We were really happy to have a day without cycling. After the boat tour we were walking around a bit. For dinner we had some tasty bao buns, followed by fish with tomato risotto, which was delicious. Then it was time for dessert, and the day was already over.
It's good to have had a rest day yesterday at Aveiro. It was very beautiful, and now we're looking forward to continue with new energy.
As you can see, it's a bit cloudy today. Hopefully the sun will come out eventually, and with only 30 kilometers it's definitely the shortest day.
I actually didn't expect that there would be some fog, but luckily it dissolved a few minutes after we had started cycling. As we were riding our bikes, I was suddenly wondering how many people live in Portugal. I was not sure whether it's bigger or smaller than my home country, Switzerland. So let's do a short quiz. How many people live in Portugal? Is it 6, 8, 10 or 13 million? I give you 10 seconds to choose an answer. My guess was C, which is the correct answer. With 10 million inhabitants, Portugal has 1 billion more than Switzerland. However, the population density in Switzerland is almost twice as high, as it's only half the size of Portugal. It's actually quite funny. A third of the Portuguese population lives in or around Lisbon or Porto, which is why there are so many small villages.
Everything we're looking for has been in our reach all along. All we gotta do is listen to hear it ring out like a song. Let it stop you and me home.
We finally found the sun. It's still a little bit windy, but it's perfect for riding the bike.
I just flew with the drone and it's just incredibly beautiful here. And since we only have to do 30 kilometers, we are already halfway done for today.
By the way, the water you can see in these clips is not the ocean, it's a canal called Canal de Mira. It's part of the Aveiro Lagoon, one of Portugal's largest coastal wetland areas, a mix of canals, dunes, salt flats and marshes. The canal was originally built to regulate water flow and prevent flooding, but today it's also a scenic route for cyclists and hikers. In my opinion, it was one of the most beautiful sections so far. We were far away from the traffic and the view was absolutely stunning.
Drink from the well. We were becoming us through the joy and the pain and the fallen stars. Here's to the broken hearts that make us who we are.
At that point, there were only a few kilometers left. Since we had only covered 30 kilometers that day, we still had plenty of time left and wanted to go swimming in the sea. I have to say that 30 kilometers was almost too little for me. I preferred to do 50 kilometers per day.
We made it to Praia de Mira and it was one of the most beautiful cycling paths so far.
Now it's 1:30, so we were really fast. Unfortunately, as you can see behind us, the waves are very big, so I think we will not be able to go into the sea, but luckily the hotel has a pool.
The first impression of the Massarico Beach Hotel was really nice. The room was quite pretty. However, Vivi saw many black dots on the wall, and when she had a closer look she spotted a bed bug. I think this video shows it pretty well. Afterwards we could change to a new room, but it was the room right next to it. After looking around for a few minutes, we discovered something strange on the lampshade, which was also a clear sign of bedbugs. Then we wanted to have another room on another floor, and then it finally looked good. We even had to pay extra to get this room. As you can see, I had no motivation anymore.
We hope that we finally find a room with any bed bugs, because I never want this again, because I had once a flat that had problems with bed bugs, and that was not funny.
Yes, I also really hope that it's okay now. I think we spent about 1.5 hours looking at these rooms. So yeah, but I think now it's fine. Let's go and eat something.
We both ate a francesina, which is some sort of sandwich and quite popular in Portugal. Afterwards we went to the beach. It was really nice to walk along the Atlantic Ocean. The next morning we ate a tasty breakfast. There was nothing to complain about it. The premises were also nice, but we were not sad to finally leave this place.
After a night without any bed bugs, we are starting now our tour to Figueira da Foz.
As you can see, it's another beautiful day. It's very warm, but I think we will mostly ride through the forest, so hopefully it should be okay.
We can highly recommend not to go to the Massarico Beach Hotel. Something like this simply must not happen. However, once again it was so beautiful that we quickly forgot about it. There was another gorgeous lagoon and not one single cloud in sight. Then we were on the cycle path. We knew that the first half of the day would be a straight road. The bad news was that the forest would end after just 2 kilometers, but at least the signage of the cycle route was suddenly much better.
In the dark of the night, follow the light, come back home. In the dark of the night, follow the light, come back home.
There are only 3 words to describe today's tour: hot, straight and long.
It really reminds me of France. There I cycled many kilometers along the canals and it was just straight all the time like here. But here it's definitely much hotter, but at least we are already halfway done for today.
And it looks more like a desert than a canal.
Even though it was hot, we were actually quite lucky with the temperatures. The maximum we had was around 35 degrees Celsius. Someone told us that 1 week earlier the temperatures were up to 40 degrees, which would have been extremely hot. Probably July isn't the best time for cycling in Portugal, so if you consider to do something similar, it might be better to do it in autumn instead of summer. And slowly but surely the straight road was getting boring. We were hoping to have a change soon.
I believe in a God who loves me well, better than I can love myself. But I can't seem to make sense of grace, and I feel unworthy of your love most days. Yet you welcome me into your holy place.
Wow, look at that. That's amazing.
It was really nice to finally have a different landscape. So far, it had always been very flat, but it was time for the first uphill. The view during the uphill was breathtaking, but it was actually very exhausting with the heat. It was also the first time I realized that these touring bikes don't have the right gears to ride a steep uphill section. The view of the Atlantic Ocean was amazing. This was one of the most spectacular sections. After the Pacific, the Atlantic is the second biggest ocean on Earth, covering roughly 1/5 of its surface. It touches 5 continents and was the highway during the age of exploration. Columbus started his transatlantic journey in the region of Andalusia, which is not far away from where we were cycling. And of course, there's a ton of wildlife. This ocean is home to blue whales, white sharks, and much more. When simply looking at it from the coast, it's hard to truly understand its scale, but it's still fascinating.
But the ocean in my heart is raging. I don't really know what to say. I take a breath and try to breathe. I'm just trying to puzzle peace. Racking my brain, looking for answers. Wise words only get me so far.
After the uphill section and the nice view, we made it for today.
Yes, we are now in Figueira da Foz. The last section was just incredibly beautiful with the cliffs and the sea. Tomorrow we will do a rest day, and then in 2 days we will do the last stage to Coimbra.
We had a nice room in the XA Wellington Hotel. Then we went out to eat something. There was a nice old castle. There was actually a restaurant within the castle, and we ordered some small snacks. As you can see, we had a pretty nice view during the lunch break. Then we went to the sea again. This time the waves even allowed me to go swimming. The next day we slept long and ate some really tasty tacos for lunch, and then we walked around a bit. As it was quite warm, we eventually decided to go back to the hotel. Then I tried Vivi's helmet. As you can see, my head is a lot bigger than hers, so it looked quite funny. For dinner we had a burger with fries. The restaurant had a really cool vibe with all its wooden decoration, and I was happy to have another dessert. This time it was some ice cream.
Good morning. It was really nice to have had a rest day yesterday. As you can see, it's a bit cloudy today. Let's see how the weather develops.
Today we're leaving the sea and go to Coimbra, which is our final destination.
Let's do it.
After 4 days of cycling along the Atlantic, it was a weird feeling to leave the sea. With a distance of 60 kilometers, it was actually the longest day of our tour. We were cycling along a river called Rio Mondego, so also the last day would be pretty flat. I did all my previous bikepacking trips on a mountain bike. This was the first time I was cycling on a touring bike. I have to say that the difference is quite big. You can tell that the tires have a lot less resistance. In the meantime, I made some modifications to my own bike, so make sure to subscribe to this channel if you want to see what I did.
As the ocean throws the water to the shoreline, the blanket on the coast from the stories old.
Now the time has come to leave the cycle route 1. We both really liked it, it was really beautiful, and who knows, maybe we will explore another part of the route in the future.
So far the route was not very amazing, the landscapes were more or less the same and the street was full of holes and you have to look where you drive. So we're looking forward that it will get a little bit better. Yeah.
Yeah, today was really not that nice, but the last few days were amazing, so I think that's okay.
But it looks like the sun comes out again.
As we both really like this tour, I can imagine to explore the coast of the United Kingdom or France at some point. When looking at the cycle route 1, we only scratched the surface, so there's definitely a lot more to discover. In total, it's 11,000 kilometers and we did only 200. Even though you would be faster with the car, it's much nicer to explore a country by bike in my opinion. Being away from the traffic is such a game changer. I really fell in love with bikepacking. This was my third trip, but definitely not my last one. I also filmed the first 2 trips, so I can highly recommend to check them out.
Now, with your page at night, you become a window frame.
At that point, we were only a few kilometers away from Coimbra. It was really nice that the weather was much better compared to the morning, which would be perfect to explore the city.
Yes, we made it to Coimbra and now even the sun is shining. This vacation was amazing and passed way too quickly, but I would say that's always a very good sign.
I think that Coimbra is a very beautiful spot for ending this trip, and we'll do a little bit sightseeing today, this afternoon. And I also really liked this vacation. It was very beautiful.
Yeah, and consider to subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate it, and hopefully we will see you in the next one.
Before ending this video, I want to show some images of Coimbra, which used to be the capital of Portugal. As we were both quite hungry, our first stop was an Italian restaurant. At this point I want to say thanks to Vivi that she never complained that I was filming or flying with the drone. I had some truffle carbonara, it was some of the best pasta I ever had, but it was also not cheap. Then we continued to explore the city. There was a nice fountain in the Mondego River. Afterwards we visited the Botanic Garden and headed towards the university. The University of Coimbra was founded in 1290, it's the oldest uni in Portugal and even one of the oldest in Europe. As it's located at the top of the hill, you have a fantastic view over the city. The historic buildings of the university are also really beautiful. The next day we were at the airport again. It's so crazy how fast time flies by when you're on vacation. After 1 hour of flying, the sun was setting. It was the perfect end to a fantastic vacation. In the next series, I will climb Switzerland's most famous mountains. I will climb the Rigi, Pilatus, Brienz-Rothorn and Stansohorn. You may have heard of these summits before, but if not, you should definitely watch this series. One of these hikes in particular was one of the most beautiful I have ever done. Make sure to subscribe to this channel if you like this video, so that you don't miss out on my next adventures.
Hi, I'm Vivian. We made now 50%. Let's continue.
When I was in Luxembourg and Belgium, it was much.
We are happy to arrive. We are happy to arrive in Aveiro and looking forward to stay. We are happy to.
Yeah, today was a really beautiful day with many different landscapes. The afternoon passed very quickly.
It's good to have had. We finally found the sun